All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition on the road this week of Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. I'm Eric Allgood. I've got Matt Kern to my right, your left, however you might be saying it, and directly behind the camera that you're looking at right now, the rest of the York Duke girls basketball team. If Taylor wants to flip over, there they are. So we'll be talking to some of them, ice cream and all, getting the ice cream. And that's how we bribed them to come out here tonight, right, Matt?
That's how it works.
We got this is our girls state basketball preview show. Tony Chapman's over there in Grand Island, and Tony, we've got obviously Coach Kern and the Dukes, and a fun show, and it's a fun time of year for the next 2 weeks, really.
Yeah, until next Saturday, we're going to have a load of fun, Eric Allgood, and I'm glad you get to experience it with us this year. It should be a blast. We'll have a good time in Lincoln on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The next 2 weeks, these 6 days, these next 2 weekends are pretty special. A lot of memories made here between now and next Saturday.
And a lot of fun stories because, you know, you go through such a long basketball season, and we'll talk with Coach Kern now. So Tony will kind of jump in and out of this with us. Basketball, it is a nice long season, and then you get to that end of February point, and so much rides on every single game, on every single possession. Talk about what mentally you try to do throughout the season to get the girls ready for the end of February and hopefully, like we are now, the 1st of March.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we do it. We feel like we do a pretty good job, but we really put an emphasis on staying relaxed. You know, having a good time, enjoying the season. You know, we feel pressured, or we feel like it's a job to play this game, and it shouldn't be that way. So, you know, throughout the months of November, December, January, you know, you get into that late January, it gets a little bit long, perhaps. We oftentimes take a break. We'll do some fun activities, do what we can to keep it loose and keep the legs loose, you know, just to make it so it's a good run at the end of the year.
When we see the post-game celebrations for you guys, and I know that we had talked earlier this year, and we'd done a locker room podcast, and we had the girls on, and boy, was that a lot of fun to kind of get into the minds of that. But you had a very special one after that district championship because there was not just singing and dancing. There was more to it than that.
Yeah, you know, they've gotten me with water in the past, and this time, though, they had a plan, and it was pretty dirty. They came in rounds with water, and it was multiple shots of the Gatorade bath, I guess you could say, but it was pretty awesome. It was fun, and that's what we do these things. If you can enjoy those moments, these girls know how to have a great time, and it makes it for just a better camaraderie and better family atmosphere.
Tony, if you're there, it's getting loud here, so maybe we can.
There they are.
There they are on the screen right now.
I don't know.
Well, Matt, I'll be boring and ask you to give me all the coach speak, but I had a chance to watch Hastings play over here in the district in Grand Island twice. Was really impressed with this team that I think probably has changed a lot since you beat them 59-47. What have you seen this week where, you know, are some things that Hastings has done that's maybe made them better and will make this game just a little bit different than the one you had in December?
No, this team's come a long way. Hastings has come a long way since when we saw them, and quite frankly, they should have beaten us that first time. They played so well, and the Pancratz girl is so special of a scorer. But they've got other shooters and players around her. But you know, the thing that they do well is they're real physical. They play hard. And when you see the team like that that's willing to lay it on the line, and I know they're coached real well by Coach Mays, and I know him real well, and he'll get them to compete, that's for sure. But I see a team that's building confidence. They've got younger players that stepped up since that first game, Tony, and you have to be aware of them more and more. It's not just always a one-person show, even though you look at the numbers and you see a lot of points from Sophia, but. Yeah, you know, we're gonna be ready to battle. It'll be a challenge, just like any game this time of year. But we feel pretty confident.
Is this a game where you guys? I don't want to make it sound cliche, but are you worried more about yourself and controlling the things you can control in a game like this, or are there specific things you'll do against the Hastings team that you might not normally do when they have a player like Sophia Pancratz who's averaging over 20 points a game?
Yeah, you know, we definitely want to focus on what we want to do. And there's no doubt that we've got some plans, things that we have to take care of defensively to contain them. So we've put in some different things and made them take a look at different things that we could use. You know, you always want to be ready in the state tournament. So you have to have a plan in place. With that said, our offense, we want to get hot. You know, we haven't played real well offensively the last few games, and we want the offense to get a lot of the attention. And we got a lot of attention in those district games from our defense, which is great, and that's what we take pride in. But I'm telling you, if our defense is playing that well and our offense gets rolling, we can be pretty scary.
Is this a game, Matt, you'd maybe like to try to maybe get up into the low 50s and maybe have a few more possessions in a game like this? The one thing I noticed with Hastings, they really like to control the tempo on you. Is there a place in this game where maybe speed them up a little bit?
We're going to play that one by ear. The first time we met, honestly, the first time we met, they kind of ran up on us a little bit. They got up early. They had a big lead going into the fourth. Then we had to speed them up, and then it worked to our advantage, and we did some big things in the fourth quarter, scoring 29 points. Now, we don't want to get to that point again, so we're going to play it by ear from the beginning of the game. We'll see what kind of tempo they're going with. There's going to be a lot of jitters for both teams, I'm sure, in a state tournament. We've been there before, but it's still a crazy atmosphere, so you have to be aware of that, and we'll read that as it goes along. I'm
interested in finding out the state tournament is so unique in Nebraska anyway, because you go all season and you play, you might play some Saturday games at 2:00 and that might happen a couple times, but now you could be in a state tournament game where you might be playing at 9:00 in the morning, you might be tipping off at 8:45 at night. You guys get to 7:00, so that first round game won't feel too terribly different, but mentally to try to because you could also be in Class B, you could be that 9:00 game. So mentally, you got to be ready for both of those scenarios.
I agree with you there. That's something that is probably underrated. You look at Platteview has a 9 a.m. game tomorrow, then they get to rest a whole day and get ready for that next day if they would win at 2:00. Elkhorn South after us, and Elkhorn, the winner of that game is 8:45. I mean, we played in that game 2 years ago, lost in overtime. I mean, getting up that next day and be ready to go against a really good team in the state tournament is a challenge. So those times are critical. We love our 7 p.m. game start time. We think that's awesome. If you're lucky enough to win, you're in good shape for the next 2 days.
What does it mean for this York community? We sat here in October and we talked to Coach Snodgrass, who's right over there. Also tonight, he's watching on his phone, and he's not 15 feet away
from us. He's unreal, man. I'm telling you, that guy is legendary.
It's dedication, though. But we talked about and we talked to Eric Rasmussen with the cross country team and how much it meant to the community in the fall to have that much continuity and that much kind of a winning attitude around the sports programs. And then not just you guys, but the boys as well, who we're going to talk to Coach Lamberty and some of the guys a little bit later on tonight, both get to go to Lincoln. What's that mean to York?
We can't say enough. We cannot say enough. This community and the culture in this community and our school district has just evolved so much since I got here 10 years ago. And it's huge. You have parents that are so locked in and on board. We have little kids that want to be involved in these activities. And these girls, we take so much pride in playing for the community. And we want them to be able to read the paper in the Lincoln Journal-Star, the World Herald, along with the News Times. But we want them to see articles about us and about what's going on great in our district. We've got some of the best leadership in this district and in this community, and we want to brag about it. We want people across the state to know that, hey, yeah, there's some great things in the metro, I guess, whatever, but the reality is there's some really good things out here in South Central Nebraska with these smaller communities as well.
And you mentioned one of those articles. It spoke to something that you kind of got going when you first got here, and that's some of the youth programs, and that is where you see so many programs that have the sustained success. And you start looking at some of these teams that have been to state for 28 times, and it's like 15 times in a row. And that's where it starts, is in those youth programs.
No question. You have to have the excitement in the community from the youth. And that's kind of something that started years ago with the Wahoops program. We all remember those boys teams in Wahoo for years, and Coach Anderson did some great things there. So we've stolen some things with our Duke Hoops program, and we've taken it and trying to evolve it every year and get kids playing. I mean, we have kids playing in the first grade now. It's not competitive yet at that age, but we have them with a ball in their hands. And I think a lot of towns are doing that, and that's where you see that success starting at an early age.
All right, well, that's Coach Matt Kern with the York Dukes, and coming up very soon, I think we have a commercial break, and then all of those funny faces that you've been seeing from behind the camera are actually going to be on the camera.
I never really imagined that I would be a diesel technician. I started out in a whole different other field and then kind of worked my way and stumbled my way into it, and I enjoy every day of it.
The people that I work with are great. Even if you're having a bad day, they find some way to try to make you laugh or smile to try to brighten your day up. It'll be a life-changing opportunity. So there's a lot of good things that this company has to offer.
Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work.
Come to the 3rd Annual Tri-County Job and Career Exploration at the Holtis Convention Center, March 22nd from 2:30 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by York, Hamilton, and Fillmore Counties Economic Development Groups and funded in part by the York County Visitors Bureau.
All right, we're back here on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com, and these are the York girls, the Dukes, heading off to Lincoln coming up tomorrow night, and we've got some of the seniors that are going to talk and some of the younger ones that are cowering in the corner because suddenly they don't want to be on TV. Can you believe that? But let's talk real quick for us, guys. First of all, I want to ask you, we talked with Coach Kern, the locker room celebrations, and we talked to you guys earlier this year and the dancing and the singing, and they got raised to a different level because we got to see the water dousing of Coach Kern. First of all, how did that come about, and why did he get 3 waves of it after the district championship?
We just wanted to get him good, so we decided to go 3 different levels. So we got everything wet and. Here. Who's going? You go.
The reason why it happened is obviously we won and we're district champions and heading to state.
Heading to state's the main thing. 3 years in a row for you guys. So as a group, what does it mean to represent your school and your community in Lincoln for 3 straight years now?
Okay. Honestly, I think it just means a lot to our team. We worked so hard to get here, and the community has supported us so much. So it's just a really good feeling to be returning. You want to go?
Ditto.
All right, so what does it take? You guys have been there, obviously. This is year 3. You have maybe that understanding of what does it take to get to Friday? What would it take to get to Saturday? What does it take to get out of that first round mentally and physically for you guys to see what happens Thursday night?
It just takes us playing our best and playing together and playing for each other. We just have to play like we've done all season and know we can win and not that we think that we can win.
Same as Jordan. We just need to play for each other and just play our hair's on fire, because this might be the last game that we play together as a team, because we've been together for 2 years now and it's been the same team, so it'll be bittersweet to see what happens, but we just need to play for each other.
All right, you guys get to play at a really unique venue that I still haven't seen since it's been renovated. So tell us, what's it like to play in the Bob Devaney Sports Center now as opposed to 5 or 6 years ago?
I don't know. It's really it feels like the crowd's basically on top of you. It's just sitting there, and the atmosphere is just it's so tight, and it makes it that much louder and more intense.
So what's PBA like then?
PBA feels a lot bigger, but I mean it's still the same atmosphere pretty much. The lights get to you. It's super bright the first time you step on the court, but I mean, it's really awesome to be able to play on those courts.
But if I'm not mistaken, the rim is still 10 feet. It's still 15 feet for the free throw line and 19 feet 9 for the three-pointer, although they do still have the college line. That's a little bit farther back. So if you feel so inclined, that'd be kind of cool too. These are some of the York seniors that will be performing, if you will, for the York Dukes coming up on Thursday night, 7 o'clock. They will take on Hastings in the first round of the state tournament in Class B. That's a lot of fun. You know, we asked Coach Kern what it means for the community standpoint. He gave a very, very nice administrative answer, but what does it mean for you guys to see the community support and knowing that the guys are going to go to state now next week? And yeah, I'm sure you guys were a little bit a part of the atmosphere when they played Beatrice the other night as well.
I just think York's very community-based, and everywhere we go, even if it's state softball, track, basketball, the community's always there because they support us, they love us, we live with them.
I think it's just awesome growing up in a small town and then seeing all the success that we've had, especially over the past 4 years. It's really awesome. Just like, it's not just the school, it's the whole town that gets involved, and it's something that unites us all, and it's just one big happy family.
Well, it should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to follow your story as you guys go along. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I think when we come back, we're going to talk with Fullerton girls coach Stacy Kramer, get her thoughts on the Warriors, heading off to Lincoln coming up tomorrow as well. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
I love it. It's fun. It's a fun industry to be in. Meet lots of different people, do lots of different stuff. There's always something new happening, so.
So far I've been enjoying it since I've been here. It's been great, learning new stuff every day. I recommend anyone come in and work here because so far the working environment's friendly, everyone's kind, and also the new guys that come here, they will gain the confidence that they need just to come and work.
I like how everybody around here is, we all kind of become real good friends. It's like a second family here. It's not something you would come to just work for a month or two. It's something you'll want to stick with forever.
The third annual Tri-County Job and Career Exploration at the Holtis Convention Center, March 22nd from 2:30 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by York, Hamilton, and Fillmore Counties Economic Development Groups and funded in part by the York County Visitors Bureau.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
We are talking now with Fullerton girls coach Stacy Kramer. And Coach, it's been obviously a fantastic season for you and the Warriors. 21-4 is the season record as it stands, and off to Lincoln for a first-round matchup with Bruning Davenport-Shickley in the D1 state tournament. First of all, let's go back to that district championship last weekend. Omaha Nation was the opponent, 56-40 the final score. Describe the atmosphere and kind of how the game went a little bit there at Norfolk.
It was a great game. We had a huge crowd, and so did they. The gym was packed, and it was loud and noisy. It had the feel of a state tournament game already, so I think that kind of helped us out. Will give us a little experience playing in such a large, in front of a large crowd heading into the game tomorrow.
Talk about the season that you guys have had, 24-1. Obviously, you've played in extremely well. The one loss was to Elgin Public Pope John, 46-42. What do you think the girls maybe learned most from that game, or if there was sometimes you can take a win and still take a lot of lessons learned as well?
I think the loss actually was kind of a good wake-up call for us. It kind of brought some areas to light that we needed to work on. It made us focus a little closer in practice into some details that we needed to work on. The girls are very competitive and don't like to lose, and I think it kind of helped initiate some drive in them that they have used to kind of propel us through the rest of the season.
When I was looking at your schedule, you guys play almost as many C2 schools as you do D1 and a few more D2 schools. So how much does playing up in class size just a little bit help you prepare for what you hope is a deep postseason run?
I think it helps tremendously to prepare you. The C2 schools tend to be a little bit deeper, and so the girls have to play against a real strong bench. They tend to play a little bit more physical play than D1 does, and it gets our posts ready to play, bang on the boards, play a physical game. I think it plays a tremendous part in preparing us for the postseason.
Talk about a little bit your team. You've got 3 girls that average 12 or more points a game. You guys average 57 points on offense and give up just 35. So tell us a little bit about some of the girls that we'll see on the floor for you guys in Lincoln.
I think we have a great group of girls coming back this year and returning all 5 starters. Macy Peregrine is kind of the spark plug for the team. She is the career rebound leader. I think the girls look to her to kind of set the pace for our defense. I feel that's our strong suit this year is our defense. Cheyenne Ostrander is our point guard, and she's really stepped up this year, kind of being the general on the floor and making sure everyone's where they need to be. She's really picked it up shooting from the outside this year. She's almost near double digits this year, and that was one of the things I thought we needed to work on from last year when we were at the state tournament was our perimeter shooting, and her along with Ashley Frenzen, who's always solid in her double digits, and her defensive skills with leading the team in steals and throughout her career. And then we have Hallie Plumtree, who's you can't coach 6'3". She's been a force in the paint all year long, and she's really matured as the season has gone for teams that can't really have to key on her in order to allow us to open up our outside game. And then we have Spencer Herman, who's a fantastic role player. She has a lot of the unsung things that aren't on the stat sheets. She does really well. She's the reason that Hallie and Macy get so many rebounds is because she clears space really well in there. And she's a good, solid senior for us on the floor.
As you describe all of them, it seems like you guys have a lot of different pieces. It's not just an inside game or an outside game, but you guys do kind of stress the opponent with different ways you can attack them.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that we looked at from last year, what we needed to do in our weak areas after playing in the tournament last year, and we knew we had to expand our outside game and get a little stronger in the paint, and I think that is our high point is we don't have just one player that you can shut down. We have, anyone on our team, I feel, my starting 5 can have an impact and have a breakout game at any time. And so I think that is our strong suit there for offense.
Talk about the matchup. Bernie Davenport-Shickley is a 9 o'clock game in the morning. That's always interesting sometimes to see how that the first game of the state tournament, there's that adrenaline, and then there's the 9 o'clock in the morning aspect, and then there's, the actual opponent. So what do you see on tape from the Eagles?
They're a great perimeter shooting team. Their posts are a little undersized, but they work very hard in the paint. I think it'll be a great matchup for us. They seem to have good defense and like to control the tempo of the game themselves, and so I think it'll be a great matchup for us to play our game and stay focused. The girls are ready. I think they've been practicing. We've had some early morning practices, About every other week we have a 5:30 a.m. practice, so they're used to getting up early and going. And I think last year we had a later in the afternoon game, and that's a long wait, so you can kind of look at it either way. You can get the game started and get it going, or you can look at it as a negative, and I think the girls are looking at it as a positive this year.
Coach Stacy Kramer with the Fullerton Warriors, thanks a lot for taking some time with us as you get ready for the trip to Lincoln.
Great. Thank you very much.
And again, a huge thank you to Coach Kramer. We had to send a lot of emails back and forth over the last couple of days to find a time where we could talk to her, because she is literally driving the van with the Fullerton girls to Lincoln right now. In fact, they should be at the hotel in the next 20 minutes or so. So safe driving, and we didn't want to talk to Coach and have her drive at the same time. So big thanks to that. Speaking of, we do a lot of social media with all of the things that we do for Strive, whether we're sharing pictures at a game, we're putting Prep Huddle Live online. We always like to interact with people online. Might be Facebook, might be Twitter, might be Snapchat. Tony Chapman, we are very excited to announce that just today, just this afternoon, we have a personalized filter approved by Snapchat, and it will look a little something, hopefully not like Taylor necessarily, but the filter with the Lincoln, Nebraska, and the Strive Sports and the state basketball will be a filter that you can use on Snapchat coming up on Saturday of the girls' state basketball tournament. And so when you take that selfie when you're at PBA, swipe to the right, and you can find the Strive Sports state basketball filter, and of course then take a picture and send it back to us on Strive TV there on Snapchat as well. So you can add us right there and look for our official filter. That'll be just on Saturday and just at Pinnacle Bank Arena. So looking forward to that coming up on Saturday. We have now got Coach Scott Lamberty of the York Dukes in our mobile studio, I guess as we want to call it. Coach, if you would have told a lot of people in the state at the beginning of, last week, I guess, that you guys were going to be heading to Lincoln, there'd be a few that would say, well, yeah, they got a chance. But there'd probably be more that would say, well, yeah, they've had a nice run. And you guys kind of pulled off one of the bigger upsets, you might say, last night. Talk about the game with Beatrice and gave up the first basket but didn't trail after that.
Yeah, I think we gave one after a couple minutes. I think we trailed 4-3 right after that. Drew hit a 3 to put us ahead. And then I can't remember. I think Brady hit a 3 right after we were down 4-3. And yeah, from then on, when you don't trail from that point on against Beatrice, that's the kids played really well. Played real well.
Talk about what as you build a little bit of a lead. I think it was something you guys were up 13-4. I think maybe at the end of the first quarter, and you see kind of Beatrice kind of chip away, but obviously they didn't make that big run. How important is that? Usually basketball can be a game of, who makes the most 10-0 runs or 8-0 runs, and obviously they didn't do that.
I think the biggest key for us in that regard was the fact that we were able to rebound pretty well. I think we gave up 3 offensive rebounds all night. And they didn't shoot an incredibly high percentage, so there was a lot of opportunities. But our kids did a great job on the glass, so they didn't get a lot of second chance points. I think the kids did a great job of contesting shots. There was absolutely nothing for free. That's our rule, nothing for free. And if they had to rotate off a man to get to a shooter, they did that and got a hand in the face, and we were able to rebound enough of those misses that they didn't get that big run.
Tony's still with us there in Grand Island. Tony, you got anything for Coach?
Yes, I am still here.
Wonderful.
Hi, Coach, I guess I'd ask you, talk about how much this team has changed this year. You guys you're playing a lot of young kids, and obviously it takes a while for them to maybe get to the hang and the speed of the high school game. But how do you feel like you guys have changed throughout the year, and obviously you're peaking at the right time now?
Yeah, the kids have grown up a lot, all of them. Early in the season, we weren't very good. We went to Gretna. I don't know. We were down 30-6 after the first quarter, so we weren't very good at all. But the kids kept working. They came to practice every day. Got better on the defensive end was our biggest key. Because we knew as the season went, we felt our offense would come along, and it did. We've been shooting the ball really well the last 6-7 ball games probably.
You talked about Gretna. I don't know if most of the state has crowned them champion yet, but they've had obviously an excellent year at 24-1. What are some keys for you guys next Thursday as you kind of think ahead to ways to slow them down and maybe change what happened the first time there in early January?
Slowing them down is pretty hard. They're so quick on the outside with dribble penetration. They push the ball incredibly hard. Defensively, they're pressuring a lot. With a full court press, they'll come back to a half court press. I think the biggest thing for us is slowing us down. Not getting to that quick shot, taking our time a little bit more, reversing the ball a couple times. I think that's going to be our biggest key to trying to slow them down offensively, is handle the ball and slow us down. What's the biggest difference in playing as you can come out as a freshman and you can say, well, we've done a few things, as we've grown up. Maybe we've played on some special teams and whatnot, and then you've also played some seniors that have been around the block and around the block and around the block, and say, we gotta go play this slugfest of a Class B schedule. Yeah. How do those guys interact in the locker room to kind of get the younger guys up to speed? Oh, well, our seniors have been huge. They've taken on a lot of leadership this year. As practice has progressed, they've had to take on different roles, which is hard. But they've done a great job of doing that and still moving forward, because their goal all along was to get to the state tournament. And they knew that some of those young kids were going to come in and help do that. Or at least make that attempt. And they've accepted that, and they've worked really hard to bring everyone and make everyone a part of it. Tony, you got one?
No, I'm good. I think he's got all my stuff. That's a lot of wisdom there for one night for me.
Sure. Well, we'll do what we can. Gretna's the opponent, 10:45 at Pinnacle Bank Arena. So we talked to Coach Kern. He loves the 7 o'clock game at Devaney. Yeah. So 10:45, it's a little different mindset to get up and be ready at that type of level at that time of day. Yeah, it is, and it's hard to simulate because they won't let me pull them out of class for 2.5 hours to practice. We practice for 3 hours. How long do you want to practice? So it's one of those. Well, the guys probably wouldn't mind getting out of class. Yeah, they wouldn't mind getting out of class, but a couple hours of shooting drills, coach. Let's not run them. So it's hard to simulate, but once you kind of get going, the kids settle in, and it's just basketball. I've played at 10:45 in the morning before. I played at 9 o'clock in the morning too. That's harder yet. That's harder. That's harder yet. But I've also played that 8:45 game that doesn't really start until about 9:15, and it's 11 o'clock when you're done. And then you got to turn around and play again the next day. That's equally as hard. But they're kids. Once they get going, they're good. Also, Pinnacle Bank Arena, you guys get there. We mentioned the girls play at Devaney, and the girls had talked about how much Devaney they feel the crowd feels like they're on you. PBA can't feel quite like that, can it? Well, it to a certain degree it was. When we played there a couple of years ago, the crowd was so good. It was a big crowd, great atmosphere. We were playing Lincoln Pius that first game, then Beatrice after that. So they're a little farther back than a normal high school gym, but the atmosphere was still just as good. Should be a lot of fun. The stories that are going to come out of all of our Strive schools. I think we counted. I think we have 7 or 8 girls teams this week. I think we have 12 guys teams going to state next week. So we can't wait to go along with some of those stories. So we look forward to that. Awesome. That's going to be it's a great week. This is a great 2 weeks. Okay, Tony does have one more. Tony.
I did, Coach. I know you were at Howells before you came to York, and Eric talked with Coach Kern about the sense of community. Whether it's a small town or one bigger like York, I'm sure you've had community support both ways. How much does that mean to your kids and to those basketball programs, especially a week like next week where it's so much fun to have the community involved and come down there with you to Lincoln? Yeah, that's huge for us. When you're talking York, you're talking one school, one community. Gretna, same way, one school, one community. It's a little harder when you get into Lincoln and Omaha because you might have 6 or 7 schools. Where here it's us, and so it's great to hear from alumni. They were emailing and texting and tweeting, and a lot of them were at the game already last night. And I know Thursday there's going to be a ton of them down in Lincoln also. So that's huge when the kids know that they're playing for a group of people
that started this, quite a while ago.
I can't wait for it, Coach. We look forward to everything that is in store for the next couple of weeks. Thanks a lot for coming out tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, we got one more commercial break. We're going to talk with some of the York guys coming up next on StriveSports.com. This is Prep Huddle Live.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Come to the 3rd Annual Tri-County Job and Career Exploration at the Holtis Convention Center, March 22nd from 2:30 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by York, Hamilton, and Fillmore Counties Economic Development Groups and funded in part by the York County Visitors Bureau.
I never really imagined that I would be a diesel technician. I started out in a whole different other field and then kind of worked my way and stumbled my way into it, and I enjoy every day of it.
The people that I work with are great. Even if you're having a bad day, they find some way to try to make you laugh or smile to try to brighten your day up. It'll be a life-changing opportunity. So there's a lot of good things that this company has to offer.
Well, we're back here on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. We got a couple of the York Dukes now. Drew Hoffman, he's a senior. John Irwin, he's a junior. They're both taller and better looking than me, so I will try to stay off to the side here. But, fellas, first of all, thanks for coming out here tonight. Talk about what Drew, I'll ask you first what it's been like this year. We're talking off camera. It's been you guys have had a lot of emotions throughout this year. Some really great wins. Obviously, the game against Beatrice had to be a great one, and some games that you kind of go, well, that was maybe not quite as fun. So you guys have ridden the roller coaster a little bit this year.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we've had our ups and downs this year, but we've learned from the downs, and we just try to keep getting better and better each week. So it's been a lot of fun.
John, we asked Coach a little bit about trying to meld some of the younger guys, and you got a couple of freshmen actually that combined for some good points last night for you guys. What has it been like as a player to kind of get some of those younger guys up to speed and at that type of level with you guys?
Well, like at the start of the year, sometimes they're not very confident, and you got to give them a little kick in the butt and just say you're better than this and get after it,
That was a little smile there, Drew. Drew, you looked like you had a story about somebody there for a second. Something popped in your head there.
I mean, we played a lot of basketball with those guys before they came into high school. I mean, we've known who they are, that we know that they can play basketball. We have confidence in them, just instilling that confidence in them and telling, hey, you can do this, and just keep giving them confidence.
Tony's out there in Grand Island. The Dukes are 11-2 since January the 15th. Tony, that's a pretty good run for these guys.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you guys. You were 6-5. You lost to Grand Island Central Catholic on January 12th, and since then, that next game out, you guys beat Crete. Did that kind of flip the switch for you guys? Again, you've been 11-2 since that run. Was there something in that game that kind of showed you guys this is what you could be?
Yeah, I mean, that Grand Island Central Catholic game wasn't necessarily our best game, and we weren't necessarily too happy about that, but we turned around with the Crete game, and we played well that game, and that gave us some confidence going into the end of January, and we just kept playing well, and so it's been a lot of fun.
You guys have both spoken about confidence a lot. What are some of the things that maybe you do, or maybe that coach says throughout games or even throughout practices to kind of help that along a little bit?
We've preached about being all in all year, and so it's just trusting in each other, having each other's backs. Knowing that your teammate's going to be there for you, and you're going to be there for your teammate, and so it's just having each other's backs at all times when we're out there on that court. So.
Now, we had the girls in earlier, and they were, we bribed them with ice cream, and they were bouncing off the walls, and I don't think all of them had the ice cream. But I got to ask, because we have seen from the girls the post-game celebrations at times, and had interviewed some of them and about the singing and the dancing. You guys seem just a little bit more low-key than that, and that's okay, though.
I think they just get on camera a lot more. We're still doing that in the locker room and stuff.
We just know about the girls more, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so the next time Coach gets in the locker room after a big win, he needs obviously a water bottle bath, apparently, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Last night we gave him a pretty nice water bath, so that was a lot of fun.
See, we didn't see that on social media. That's what we need. From your guys' perspective, a couple older guys in the program, what's it mean to go through this process? Not just once or twice when you're younger, but you guys, 3 and 4 years into the process of going through a season. Because basketball, it's a long season. You guys are probably playing a lot in the summer too. It's a pretty time-consuming sport. So what's it been like to go through like this?
I mean, we both the entire team's put a lot of hard work into this, and so it's just trying to get better each and every day, going to practice, getting better every practice, staying focused throughout. It's a long season. And so you're going to have your ups and downs, but you just got to learn from every mistake in every game and just keep trying to get better and try to play your best at the end of the season.
Drew, you're the senior representative out here, but you got a couple of senior classmates. What's it mean for you guys to be able to end your careers, no matter how it ends, end your careers in Lincoln?
It's going to be an awesome experience. We were fortunate enough to be on the team my sophomore year when we made it to state, and so hopefully that experience will help us this next week when we go and play at PBA, so it should be a lot of fun.
So, John, I want to ask you, what do you tell those younger guys, even for the ones that were, like Drew said, a part of the team that was in it a couple years ago? What do you tell to those younger kids that helps them maybe relax and get some of that confidence going?
Well, when I was a freshman, I practiced with the team, and I went to Lincoln, but I never suited up. So I don't really know what the nerves are going to be like. It's going to be a new experience for me, so I guess I'll get there when I get there. I'm not sure.
Everyone will find out at the same time. Well, we look forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. We can't wait to help share that story with you guys. That's Drew Hoffman. That's John Irwin of the York Dukes basketball. Guys, thanks a lot for taking some time tonight.
No problem.
All right. If you guys want to hang out there for a while, Tony and I are going to kind of talk for a little bit, and then we'll get out of here. Or you can go have some ice cream too, whatever you want. All right. So, Tony, let's kind of wrap things up here tonight. We want to kind of direct people to our Girls State Basketball headquarters page on strivesports.com and give us a quick rundown of what's going on that page.
Well, we've got links to every major newspaper in the state, obviously, the coverage from the Omaha World Herald, the coverage from the Lincoln Journal-Star, and then also a link to the NSAA Tournament Central page is all right there. And then you can follow each Strive school. They'll have their own little section of the page where we'll link audio to their games, and then we'll also post all of the stories that are in the state newspaper right there with them. You can kind of follow along as they advance and get results, etc. there. And then the brackets are on that page that'll update as the tournament progresses. So it's kind of a one-stop shop, if you will, your convenience store for the Girls State Basketball Tournament, and we'll do it next week as well.
Yeah, so we got the girls this week, we got the guys next week, and it's Tony. You've been working on a few different things. You got a great feature that we got out this afternoon. Hopefully, people have a chance to take a look at Play Another Day. Talk to us a little bit about that story and what you found out in the story Play Another Day.
Well, we featured our two D1 wildcard participants. D1 heavy field for us this week, Eric. We'll have 5 of the 8 teams or Strive schools there. And so we did a little feature on Howells Dodge and Bruning Davenport Shickley, who are both 19-6 and who were the 2 that survived district final Friday, if you will. They did not play in district finals, but they will be advancing to the state tournament. They were the 2 highest point totals left after all the district finals shook out. And I'm looking at that bracket right now, Eric, to give you an idea just how loaded this D1 or how tightly bunched this D1 field is. Between seed 1 Friend and seed 5 Howells Dodge, there are 40 hundredths of a playoff point separating them. So you really can look at, I think you go down all the way to Bruning Davenport Shickley as the 6th seed, and you could probably make a case for any of those top 6 seeds to be able to come home from Lincoln with the trophy. And you talk to, Bruning Davenport Shickley coach Shanna Gerberding, and, she said every possession you play in that D1 tournament is going to be so important. You miss a rebound or you make a foul that you shouldn't make, and it could be the difference between winning on Thursday and playing on Saturday. I mean, it's that close in that D1 field.
And we're showing it up there on the screen, or we were momentarily anyway. There it is. BDS and Fullerton, the 6 versus the 3. Cambridge and Emerson Hubbard, the 7 versus the 2. DCS and Howells Dodge, that's an all-strive matchup. And then Kennesaw and Friend. Friend has had a really remarkable year. You had a chance to talk with their coach, Scott Krause, earlier this year too. So, and we've interviewed Coach Belke. So we had Fullerton girls were obviously there. We had the Fullerton story that you had done, and then I had a chance to talk with Coach Kramer on the show earlier tonight. So, boy, if you're a Strive school and we featured you in your girls basketball team, there's a really good chance you're playing in Lincoln tomorrow. So, kudos to us for picking the good ones, I guess, right? Gee,
I think we featured all but Shadron and Hemingford as I look at the bracket. So we'll be sure to watch them closely tomorrow. We appreciate both of those schools reaching out to us on Twitter today. We asked them for a shot with the bus or on the bus, and Coach John McLean from Shadron obliged. And we got another picture about dinner time around 5 o'clock from the Hemingford girls on their way down. So Hemingford will play Superior tomorrow at 3:45 at Lincoln Southwest, and an early game for Shadron, 8 o'clock local for the Cardinals. They'll play Pierce at 9 a.m. at the Sports Center tomorrow.
Yeah, that's got to be maybe the toughest. We talked with Coach Kern and Coach Lamberty about that 9 o'clock game. And oh, by the way, that doesn't factor in changing time zones there, does it? So, Shadron's got their work cut out for them, but it will be a lot of fun. Don't forget that our social media for Strive Sports, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat, like we said, over the next 3 days this week and then the last 3 days of next week as well, are going to be very very happening places to be. So if there is something that you miss throughout the day and it pertains to a Strive school, we're tagging people and schools in different stuff. We'll have audio broadcasts of all but the Shadron game coming up tomorrow. Every other Strive school will have their first round game have an audio broadcast on their Strive channel, so we're excited about that. Then we will have semifinals all day on Friday with the NFHS network that we are producing for the NFHS network, similar to the setup that we had with semifinal volleyball and semifinal football last fall. So we've got a lot of work that we're doing over the next 3 or 4 days, and really over the next week. But Tony, it's the sharing stories. That's what we're all about. Is he still there? Did we lose him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
we had so much fun last year.
Uh-oh.
Just hanging out with these teams and getting to know them a little bit more, getting to know their communities, and you really find out that the state basketball tournament's not so much about the games and the winning of the championships, but it's about the memories that you're making and the lessons that you're learning. And so when these kids are out of school, there's still something that can be learned while you're down in Lincoln. Maybe it's not calculus or biology, but it's something that'll carry on as you go to college, as you get in, as you're an adult, as you get married, as you have jobs. All things you can learn these next 2 weekends in Lincoln.
All right, with that, folks, I think Tony's cutting out a little bit on us there, so I think that maybe is a good time to just say thank you for watching us here. We have, I believe, just one more in the rhythm of the season, Prep Huddle Live for you. We might have a couple sprinkled throughout the spring as we get ready, especially towards May and the end of the spring sports season, but very much looking forward to covering all of that and over the next couple weeks. But just one more Prep Huddle Live. So it's been Tony Taylor and I were looking back a few days ago at how far Prep Huddle Live has come, not just from when you and Taylor were doing it, but where even with the addition of me in August with the show, where we have gone since then, and to now now we can take the show on the road to Dickey's. This is kind of cool, and I'm not sure. I don't know if this is exactly what you guys had envisioned, but from my perspective, it's been a whole lot of fun.
Yep, I would agree. It's been a blast, and these next 2 weeks will be a blast, and it's going to be fun to see some people we haven't seen since last state tournament while we're down there. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, folks, again, a huge thank you to Dickey's Barbecue here in York. Yep, it's just about cleaning time. So thanks to everyone who stopped by tonight and all of the York Dukes that came out. Coach Kern, Coach Lamberty, the girls, the guys. Big thank you to Fullerton girls coach Stacy Kramer, who joined us earlier today on the phone as she drives her team. Should be arriving at the hotel in Lincoln just about now, actually. So thanks for tuning in tonight on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com, and we will see you at the state basketball tournaments in Lincoln coming up this weekend.
I love it. It's fun. It's a fun industry to be in. Meet lots of different people, do lots of different stuff. There's always something new happening,
So far, I've been enjoying it since I've been here. It's been great, learning new stuff every day. I recommend anyone coming and work here because so far the working environment's friendly, everyone's kind, and also the new guys that come here, they will gain the confidence that they need just to come and work.
I like how everybody around here is, we all kind of become real good friends. It's like a second family here. It's not something you would come to just work for a month or two. It's something you'll want to stick with forever.
The third annual Tri-County Job and Career Exploration at the Holtis Convention Center, March 22nd from 2:30 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by York, Hamilton, and Fillmore Counties Economic Development Groups and funded in part by the York County Visitors Bureau.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to Dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.